Hi, I'm glad you've joined us for another Sunday's Word. We are moving Florida forward. We, as in pastors, leaders, church members, working together with God, will move our churches forward in the face of the enemy's efforts to push us backward. The Bible tells us that the gates of hell will not prevail as the church makes that forward thrust against those gates. So I'm challenging you today. Listen for the voice of God. Follow that voice of God and assault the narratives of the day with the values of the kingdom. Oh my, I feel very inspired today and wish that I was the one preaching to you. But before I introduce to you today's speaker, I want to remind you that our pastors and their companions, along with the state ministry team leaders, will be gathering at the Rosin Shingle Creek Conference Center here in Orlando for a time of equipping and encouragement. This event will be followed by regional gatherings that are open to each and every individual in October and November. Any of you can attend, so I would encourage you, if you have not downloaded the Florida Church of God of Prophecy app to your smartphone, to your TV through Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Prime, those areas will allow you to download the app where you can obtain to-the-minute information about our upcoming events. So, today, it is with great joy that I introduce to you Pastor Keith White. He and his wife Ingrid serve our congregation in Hollywood, Florida. This is his first lead pastor role, but he's certainly not a newbie to ministry. Previously, he served as Pastor Wilson's associate pastor at the Shore Foundation congregation, and he was assigned to the Hollywood congregation in the 2019 state convention. He and his wife Ingrid are doing an awesome job in ministering not only to that congregation, but reaching out into the community. The footprint of that church is much larger than the boundaries of their property. Keith and Ingrid have been married, in his words, 8 wonderful years. Now, I certainly hope she would say the same. They met at the General Assembly in 2012 in Louisville, Kentucky. They have 2 children, Madison Selena, who is 6 years old, and Thomas Keith Jr., who is 3 years old. Keith's occupation is a produce manager at the Publix supermarkets, but vocationally he is a man of God. And I believe he will bring a word to us today that will be enriching, inspiring, and motivating us to do exactly what God has called us to do. He will be ministering from Genesis chapter 6, beginning at verse 13, and the topic is preparing for rain. Preparing for rain. Now listen, I'll read just a couple of passages. And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is full of violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. That's quite a statement, isn't it? Now, look at verse 14. And this is how, verse 14 says, make yourself an ark of gopher wood, make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. Now, can you imagine being told to do something you really didn't know what it was that you were being told to do? Build an ark. What's an ark? How do you build an ark? God didn't leave Noah with a word to do something without instructing him how to do it. He was instructed to prepare for what was to come, that he didn't even know what was coming. And in verse 15, he says, and this is how you will make it. You see, God will not just give you a responsibility, he will guide you in how you should do it. Had Noah not been obedient to God, even when he did not understand, because he had never seen the things that were to come, life for Noah and his family of 8 would have been much different, and probably would have been much different for us today. So I encourage you to receive the word of the Lord with gladness, and let's you and I, with God, move Florida forward.